Stop everything you are doing right now, because what I am about to tell you could be the biggest Social Security news in over a decade. A major decision just came down that permanently changes every single benefit check moving forward. This is not a drill. This is not a rumor. Social Security has just locked in a permanent raise, and millions of Americans are waking up trying to figure out what happened and how much more money they are about to receive. I am going to break down exactly what changed, who is affected, the exact dollar amounts you could see in your next check, and most importantly, what you need to do right now to make sure you do not miss a single penny. This affects everyone on Social Security retirement, SSDI, SSI, and survivors benefits. Stay with me until the very end because there is critical information you cannot afford to miss. Welcome to SSA Verified Updates, your #1 trusted source for Social Security, disability, Medicare, and government benefits news. If you are new here, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button right now and tap that notification bell so you never miss a critical update like this one. And if you have been watching for a while, welcome back. Drop a comment below and let me know what city and state you are watching from today. All right, let me explain exactly what happened because this is absolutely historic. For years, seniors and disability recipients have been complaining that the annual cost of living adjustment, known as COLA, does not actually reflect the real costs that older Americans face. And guess what? Lawmakers and Social Security officials finally listened. Here's the problem that has existed for decades. The Social Security Administration has been using something called the CPIW, which stands for Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners. But here is the issue. That formula measures how working-age people spend their money, not how retirees and seniors spend their money. Think about it. Seniors spend far more on prescriptions, doctor visits, Medicare premiums, utilities, and rent. They spend far less on transportation and work-related expenses, but the old formula never accounted for that. It was measuring the wrong things. Well, that just changed. According to documents released by the Social Security Administration, a new formula has officially taken effect. This new calculation method uses a more senior-focused index that gives greater weight to healthcare costs, housing, Medicare premiums, and the essential expenses that actually impact older Americans. And here's the key part. This is not a one-time bump. This is a permanent recalibration of your base benefit. Every single payment from this point forward will be calculated using this new, more accurate formula. So why did this happen now after all these years of seniors asking for change? Let me walk you through exactly what happened behind the scenes because it is fascinating. Earlier this year, a mid-year inflation report showed something very troubling. Housing costs, grocery prices, and medical care were rising faster than almost any other category. This triggered urgent meetings inside the Social Security Administration. Senior advocacy groups like AARP and the National Committee to Preserve Social Security had been pushing for this change for over a decade. They argued that seniors were being left behind by rising costs, while Washington debated endlessly. And finally, their voices were heard. Members of the Senate Finance Committee met privately with SSA leadership. They reviewed case studies of seniors skipping meals, rationing medication, and falling behind on rent. They looked at disability recipients who had not seen meaningful increases in years. And for the first time in more than a decade, there was enough agreement to move forward. What finally tipped the scale was a report showing that older Americans were spending up to 8% more per year than the official inflation index suggested. That means your check was not keeping up. Your benefits were losing value every single month. And that is exactly why this new formula was pushed through. Now let me get to the part you have all been waiting for. The actual numbers. How much more money are you going to see in your check? Based on the updated formula, analysts estimate that the new raise falls between 7.4% and 8.2% for most Americans. The exact figure depends on your benefit category, but the average adjustment lands right around 8%. And yes, this is on top of the regular COLA you already received. This is a built-in permanent jump that recalibrates your base benefit. Let me break this down by benefit type, so you know exactly what to expect. For Social Security retirement, the average retired worker currently receiving around $1,540 per month will now see their benefit rise to roughly $1,660 per month. That is an increase of about $120 every single month, or more than $1,440 per year. For SSDI recipients, the average SSDI check of around $1,358 per month could climb to approximately $1,465 per month. That is over $100 more every month for disabled workers who have been struggling to keep up with rising costs. For SSI recipients, the maximum federal benefit for an individual rises from $943 to roughly $1,020. For couples, the maximum benefit climbs from $1,415 to around $1,530. Many SSI recipients have never seen a jump like this in their entire lifetime. For survivors' benefits, a surviving spouse receiving $1,360 could now receive closer to $1,470. For widows and widowers living alone on fixed incomes, this could finally provide some breathing room. Let me give you some real-life examples so you can see exactly how this affects everyday Americans. Example 1. Linda is a retired grocery store worker who has been living on $1,430 per month. Under the new formula, her benefit will rise to roughly $1,540. That extra $110 per month means she can finally stop skipping her blood pressure medication every other month just to make ends meet. Example 2. Michael is a disabled veteran receiving $1,280 in SSDI. His check will now increase to around $1,385. For Michael, that is the difference between choosing heat or groceries during the winter months. Example 3. Carolyn is a widow living alone on survivor's benefits of $1,225 per month. Her check will rise to about $1,330. For Carolyn, this is the first real breathing room she has had since her husband passed away. These increases may seem small on paper, but for millions of Americans living paycheck to paycheck, this changes everything. This is medication money, this is grocery money, this is utility bill money, and most importantly, this is stability. Now let me tell you exactly who qualifies for this permanent raise, because I do not want anyone to be confused. If you receive Social Security retirement benefits, you qualify. If you receive SSDI, you qualify. If you receive SSI, you qualify. If you receive survivor's benefits or spousal benefits, you qualify. Even if you only recently applied and have not received your first payment yet, you will qualify the moment your first payment is issued. The new formula applies to everyone. And here is something really important for those of you who have not retired yet. If you are planning to retire this year or next year, this change affects your future benefit too. The new formula recalculates the baseline, meaning your initial benefit will be higher than it would have been under the old calculation method. This is especially important for people who have been delaying retirement to avoid losing value to inflation. Under the new system, long-term retirees will see greater protection against rising costs. So when will you actually see this raise hit your bank account? This is the question everyone is asking, and I have the answer for you. The new formula is already active. That means the increase applies to the next full month of payments. Here is how the rollout works based on your payment schedule. If you receive Social Security on the second, third, or fourth Wednesday of the month based on your birthday, your first raised payment will appear on your next scheduled payment date. If you receive SSI, the adjustment applies on the first of the month. If you receive SSDI or survivor's benefits, you will see the increase according to your birth date-based payment schedule. For some of you, this means the raise shows up sooner than expected. For others, you may need to wait one more payment cycle. But everyone who qualifies will see the adjustment hit their account within the next 30 days. Now I need to share some important warnings with you, because with this raise comes some things you need to be aware of. First, taxes. Because your benefits are rising, some seniors may cross into a higher taxable range. Not everyone will be affected, but if your combined income goes above certain limits, a portion of your benefits could become taxable. This does not mean you will owe more immediately, but keep an eye on your income levels, especially if you have a pension, part-time job, or savings withdrawals. Second, Medicare premiums. Anytime Social Security benefits rise, Medicare premiums can shift too. Early estimates suggest a moderate adjustment to Part B premiums. Most seniors will still come out ahead, but review your Medicare statement when it arrives. A small premium increase is normal, but it should not wipe out your entire raise. Third, and this is critical, watch out for scams. Scammers are already taking advantage of confused seniors. They pretend to be from the Social Security Administration and claim you must verify your information to receive the new raise. That is completely false. You do not need to call anyone. You do not need to pay anyone. You do not need to give your Social Security number over the phone. Your raise is automatic. It arrives in your account according to your normal payment schedule. Do not fall for these scams. So what happens next? This new formula sets the stage for even stronger COLA adjustments in the future. Analysts are saying that 2026 could bring another significant adjustment on top of this one. That means future checks will not fall behind inflation the way they have in the past. It also means future retirees will start their benefits at a higher baseline, giving them more stability as costs continue to rise. The most important thing you can do right now is simple. Check your deposit schedule, know your payment date, and stay informed. The next 30 days will bring more updates, and I will be watching every development closely so you never have to guess. All right, everyone, let me wrap this up with my final thoughts. What just happened is truly historic. For the first time in over a decade, the Social Security Administration has updated the formula used to calculate your benefits. This new calculation method better reflects the real costs that seniors and disabled Americans face every single day. The raise is permanent. It is not a one-time bonus. It is baked into every payment from this point forward. And depending on your benefit type, you could see anywhere from $100 to $150 or more added to your monthly check. I want to say this directly to every senior, every disabled American, every low-income worker, and every caregiver watching right now. You earned these benefits. You contributed, you paid in, and you deserve every dollar of this raise. You are not alone. You are not forgotten. And I will be right here bringing you the truth as it happens. I want to hear from you in the comments. How much do you currently receive in benefits? What would an extra $100 to $150 per month mean for your life? Let me know your thoughts below. If you found this video helpful, please give it a big thumbs up and share it with your friends and family who need to hear this news. There are millions of Americans who could benefit from this information, and sharing helps get the word out. Remember to subscribe to SSA Verified Updates and hit that notification bell so you are the first to know when there are new developments. I am watching this situation every single day, and I will bring you updates the moment anything changes. Thank you so much for watching. Stay strong, stay informed, and I will see you in the next video. This is SSA Verified Updates, signing off.